6 months ago, I launched my game Golfever, and I spent roughly 1,000 euros. It got 80,452 people download it, and the total revenue so far is 80 cents. Yes, and actually it's not from a tiny payments, but from one single purchase with actually this skin from here. And the easy answer is that the game is bad. And also, I actually thought the same too. But then, how is it possible that we got a lot of people still playing the game and actually enjoying it? Well, in this video, I'm gonna tell you the story of what did I do in order to reach that amount of downloads, but also what are the pitfalls that I followed. So, the story of the launch starts when you first release the trailer. So in this case, once I got the trailer in place, I spent 100 euros in YouTube ads and also 140 euros in TikTok ads. In the case of TikTok, somehow instead of 100, it said that the minimum was 140. But fine, that's another topic. And spending 240 euros so far, it made me get roughly 0 installs. How so? How is it possible that you spend this amount of money and actually get, as you can see here, 300,000 views in the trailer of the game, and similarly in YouTube around 50k in order for a trailer of the event? Well, and that's because I optimized for viewers. So that was actually not what I wanted. So when you optimize something for views, what is going to happen? Well, people are going to just view it. They're not going to install the game. And that's when I decided to go with Google Ads. And thanks to switching from the views approach to actually installs approach, I managed to get this 10k or 10,000 installs, which I'm very proud of, because I was actually looking for this number, even though in practice, as you will see later, it doesn't mean much. Let's now look at the actual spending. In this case, how much money I spent. Well, the first metric is how many money I spend on Google Ads. As you can see in this graphic, which I picked up the entire 6 first months of the game, you will see that I managed to get roughly 8,453 installs using 428 euros. And then again, as I showed previously, I spent 100 euros on YouTube and 140 on TikTok. And additionally, I spent 200 euros for an in-game event map contest. And finally, I spent another additional 135 euros for music from a friend of a friend, just to support the local people. In terms of being a little bit more specific, as you can see in the Google Ads campaign, I started with a small budget, and then I just kept increasing based on what I was testing. So the first thing I did was to just throw some money and see where it go. And once I saw that it was actually getting me installs, I was very happy. But at the same time, when you go into Google Play and see the actual metrics, you see a lot of people installing, but at the same time uninstalling. So that's also another point, right? And that gave me a lot of information. So overall, you can say that in terms of the promotion strategy, I started with cheap countries and then I went into more expensive countries. And the idea was to reach countries that have better retention or they are willing to spend money in games. Okay, now let's see some more metrics of Google Play connected into Firebase, which is basically where I'm storing the maps that people actually upload. So overall, you could say that I spent a lot of money, but actually I also achieved one of the internal milestones, which was basically to create a small map making community that creates maps. And yes, that actually happened. But at the same time, I just want to show you a little bit the metrics. As you can see right now, it says that there's an average engagement time per active users of 70 minutes. And that's because map makers spend actually a lot of time creating maps and then uploading them. But at the same time, there's not enough casual players. From the other side, if we look at the retention, it starts very well, but then it just goes down and down and down and down and down, which is another thing that is telling me that the game doesn't have that good retention overall. And one of the key things that I wanted to highlight is not the 80 cents that I managed to get from one guy, but how misleading can be only to focus on the installs. Because as you can see, actually from the 8,000 people that installed the game, only 11,000 actually opened the game for the first time. So that means that they installed it, but they didn't even open the game. So as a final lesson, I will say there are two big ideas in this journey. The first one is that, well, the numbers of installs can be misleading. What you want to actually check is how good the retention is, if people are willing to pay for your game, and also how many times they spend playing the game. So in this case, I will say that they are willing to play the game, especially the map makers, but not for the casual players, because they don't have enough reason to keep playing the game. And finally, the other very important point is that even though one of my milestones was to achieve the map maker community, I completely forgot about the casual players, which they are the actual people that brings the money. So what I'm gonna do in order to fix this? Well, I'm gonna spend another 1,000 euros, and this time 280 is gonna go into the map making events again, because the first time when I spent 200 euros, it was absolutely worth it. Because given that I had this much people and only this specific set of people are willing to be map makers, it was worth to spend these 200 euros to get the 181 maps created in the game, which right now we are over 200. From the other side, I'm allocating 150 euros just in case, in order I want to add more music, and all the other money is going to be again for ads. In which this time, I'm going to use it for quality and quantity. Try to bring a lot of people, but at the same time, higher quality. In this case, America and Japan. Because in theory, they are the guys that love to play golf and mini golf. And of course, if I just put a lot of more money, it's not going to be enough. That's why the next important step is that I'm going to do a big update, with 3 main features: multiplayer mode, retention improvements, and of course, new content. And then I will check again if the metrics make sense and if I'm only still getting one player, one payment. So if you are interested to see and go with me along the journey, subscribe.